Eastern right here on ESPN. The Knicks coming off 9 days rest after they swept the 76ers. They will face the Cavaliers, who are coming off just 1 day of rest after going 7 against the Pistons. Again, game 1 in the Garden tonight. So after seeing how slow the Thunder started off yesterday, how imperative is it for the Knicks to win game 1? Wilbon.
This is set up like the Philly series, where the 76ers were coming off that tough 7-game series against the Celtics, and you just knew they weren't going to have very much in the tank to play game 1 in Madison Square Garden. Cleveland's facing a very, very, very similar set of circumstances. Now, Cleveland's a better team. The two bigs we've seen deliver.
Cleveland, you think, is the better team here?
No, Cleveland's a better team than Philly.
Okay, yes, true.
So, no, I'm picking the Knicks in 5 in this series. But part of that is I'm counting on the Knicks to come out. They could be down 6 or 7 at halftime. They could be down halftime playing through the rust. Cleveland's a better team than Philly. I expect a bigger challenge. Mobley and Allen have looked good at times against Toronto and when it counted against Detroit. But I don't see them being able to break through a game 1. The Knicks need to continue the way they played the last, since game 4 in the Atlanta series, and obviously in the next series against Philly. I expect the Knicks to start with a commanding presence in this series. Brunson first, everybody following, helps if Anunoby's healthy, but the way the Knicks are playing is the way they should be playing.
Cameron.
You haven't been on the show, Mike, with me. I'm from New York. It's hard to trust the Knicks. It's 53 years of disappointment. You know where we're at?
I understand.
You know where we're at? And listen, this is where big bro Stephen A. comes in at. Because, him and Perk get mad at me. We were here last year. You beat Boston, right? He said, oh, we're going to the championship. Oh, we're about to go to the championship. Oh, Part two. The Tyrese Halliburton put an end to that. I want to say the Knicks are going to the championship. Should they win this? Absolutely. Not just the last game will be when we're talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers coming off a 7-game series against Detroit. They came against a 7-game series against the Raptors too. So they're 14 games in the playoffs. The Knicks look dynamic. Last time we seen the Knicks play, they committed a home invasion with no mask. They took everything from Philly, the heart, the couches, the fish, everything from Philly. And by the way, I don't want to hear anything about Philly. We own the cheesesteaks too now. I don't want to hear about how you used to write for them. I don't want to hear about Dr. J. I don't want to hear about Moses Malone, Kevin Hart. Anything.
You got to ask him.
Yeah, I don't even think the word phone should start with PH. It should start with the letter. I don't want to hear nothing from Philly. The Knicks should come in and win this series. I'm going to go 6 games because I'm just going to give Cleveland the benefit of the doubt because of their talent. But the Knicks should advance to the NBA Finals. But we've been here before.
Here's the deal, y'all. I got the Knicks winning this series of 6 games out of respect for Donovan Mitchell, who's a career 27-point-per-game scorer in the postseason, okay? So I'm looking at him. I'm looking at what he's capable of doing. A couple of games, I can see him exploding and making that kind of noise, and the Cavaliers winning a couple of games. That's all I got for them. I ain't got more for them than that. The New York Knicks should win this series. When Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby were guarding Donovan Mitchell this year, he only shot like 34% from the field. I expect more of the same this go round as well. I don't expect James Harden and them to be able to help him, but so much. I think the Knicks, the way the Knicks have been playing, how fluid they've been offensively, particularly since Mike Brown put the ball in Cat's hands and Cat's been more of a facilitator and he's been more actively involved. That combined with the rest and them being able to get OG back from that hamstring injury, I think is going to be a huge, huge plus. Now, Mikal Bridges got to show up. I mean, listen, he worked himself through his doldrums and when he was struggling at the end of the regular season through the first part of the playoffs, but he got things going as the series waned against Atlanta, and he's been fine ever since. That has to continue, make no mistake about it. But the New York Knicks, the way that they've been playing, the way how suspect Cleveland can be defensively, the New York Knicks should win this series. What makes it interesting is that Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley have been playing big time since the last series. How formidable they are could obviously impact this series to some degree. Because if Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson are proven to be non-impactful in this series, that could make things a bit more difficult. But I don't anticipate that happening. I think the New York Knicks will be ready. They will handle their business, and they will close them out in 6 in Cleveland. They will end this series and go back to the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999.
Oh, okay. Wishful thinking. We'll see what happens here with the Knicks. Game 1 tonight. Again, that game is on ESPN. We'll dissect this 100 different ways, I'm sure, in the next 2 hours. And all, of course, tomorrow as well. Coming up here.
Jalen Brunson, he got it! I like what I'm seeing. Feeling the groove. Scintillating moves. Bullseye! Some Mitchell madness.
Roller coaster for sure. The journey shows you who you are.
Michael Wilbon back here with us, and the Knicks have outscored their opponents by nearly 20 points per game. That's the best point per game differential in a 10-game span in the playoffs in NBA history. So, Michael, I have to ask you, what has clicked for New York in this postseason?
Everything. Mm-hmm. Everything's clicked. When you win in games by a 50-point margin in the playoffs, everything's clicking. We know that Jalen Brunson has been his usual clutch self, although he hasn't had to be dramatic because the games haven't been close enough for the most part, not since very early that 1-2 deficit against Atlanta in the first round. But, you know, Karl Anthony Towns is a totally different role. He looks like a different player, and the Knicks offense looks so different with so much of the offensive action running through him. And the pass and the assist totals for Cat in the playoffs have jumped incredibly. And so everything, I mean, what the Knicks do need is a healthy Anunoby. I mean, they need him for his two-way game, but also defensively, they're going to need that most likely against Cleveland. So everything so far has been clicking for the New York Knickerbockers.
All right, Michael, let's talk about this Cavs team coming off that 7-game series against the East top seed, the Detroit Pistons. What do you expect to see from Cleveland coming into tonight's Game 1?
Well, I mean, we expect to and think about the Cavs through the lens of Mitchell and Harden, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what everybody's going to talk about. Scoring, how dynamic the backcourt is. Either one of those guys. I don't know if Harden can still put up 50. Maybe he could. But certainly Donovan Mitchell can and has in playoff games. But this is about, you know, Allen and Mobley to me. The force they played with, you go back to Game 7 in the Toronto series, and then late, 5, 6, and 7 in the Detroit series. Allen and Mobley, they're going to be the important players, particularly, again, dealing with Cat. And the Knicks can play Mitchell Robinson with Karl Anthony Towns if Mike Brown chooses to do that. So I think those two guys are going to be every bit as important as their dynamic backcourt teammates.
And if you look at the Cavs, 10th straight game, just one day of rest. Meanwhile, your Knicks, Amina, haven't played since May the 10th. So a serious rest versus rust situation here. Waking up with us early this morning on SportsCenter, Michael Wilbon.
All right, more on the Cavs and Knicks on the next SportsCenter at 2 p.m. Eastern. Iman Shumpert, drafted by the Knicks, won a title with the Cavs. How does he see this series playing out? SportsCenter with Jay and Hannah.
The game with my wife and my kids, and I told my wife that we're sending our kids to those damn monks that Wemby went to this summer, because I need that mentality.